I'm recording this video during a heat wave, so if I seem particularly subdued, bear with me. We're getting to that time of the month again. It's time for my now customary musts and maybes video. This is going to be all of the things that I'm planning on reading in June. So, June looks like a pretty stuffed month. In the first week of the month, I've got a load of disruptive stuff going on in my personal life, so I'm not going to make too many plans, reading-wise, video-making-wise. However, I do have a couple of things lined up for the month. For starters, there is the continuation of the Ursula K. Le Guin reading group run by Gareth from Books, Songs and Other Magic, and this month's read is The Dispossessed. This is not actually my copy of The Dispossessed. I borrowed this from a friend about, I think, 10 years ago, and I still haven't read it. I've actually started it once and DNF'd it because it just wasn't really in the mood for it at the time. So I'm hoping that the Le Guin reading project will have kind of keyed me up for it a bit better. So I can't really tell you too much about this one. It's the 6th book in the Hainish cycle. I think that chronologically it's the earliest story in the series, although I think the chronology of the series isn't massively important. You can kind of read any of these books in isolation, so even though it's called the Hainish cycle, it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, I think this has something to do with, well, all of the Hainish cycle books have something to do with sort of culture clash. And in this case, I think it's the clash between capitalism and communism of some sort, space communism, if you will. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I'm looking forward to it, although, as I say, I have DNF'd it once before, so slightly trepidatious. My other must for June is Titus Alone, the 3rd book in the Gormenghast trilogy by Mervyn Peake, and this will be a buddy read with Laurie from Will to Read. This will be our first buddy read together. I think Laurie's first buddy read ever, so that's going to be fun. And we both read the first 2 books independently. I read them last year. I think she's read them this year. So yeah, we agreed to buddy read the 3rd one. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. I've heard kind of mixed things about Titus Alone. I think the first 2 books in the series kind of tell a fairly self-contained story, and then the 3rd one, from what I've heard, kind of opens up the world a lot. It's no longer set in Gormenghast Castle. It's Titus discovering the wider world around him, which apparently is very weird. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to buddy reading it with Laurie. So those are my 2 musts for June, and at the moment I don't really have any maybes in mind. I think both of these scheduled reads are quite substantial books. I know that Titus Alone is slightly shorter than the first 2 Gormenghast books, but still, both of those took me quite a while to read, so I expect the 3rd one will as well. And yeah, I think The Dispossessed is one of the longer Hainish books, so yeah, I think that's going to take up most of my reading time for the month ahead. And also, all of the reading events that are going on in June, I'm not particularly fussed about. I'm not a big fan of Westerns, so I'm not looking to read anything for June on the range this year. Maybe I'll try and fit in a Western film, but not a big fan of Western films either. But, I could maybe watch, like, My Darling Clementine or Johnny Guitar, something like that. But yeah, I don't plan on reading any Westerns this year. Maybe another year, I'll give it a go. But the only other reading event I have my eye on this month is one that I can't really plan ahead for. It's Joy Reading June. This was started a couple of years ago by Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. And it's being carried on by her friends in her memory because she sadly passed away. I unfortunately never got to know Alice. I think she passed away before I even had a channel. So, yeah, I sadly missed out on Alice. But everything I've heard about her, so many people have such warm memories of her. And Joy Reading June sounds like a really lovely idea. The basic idea is just to read books that bring you joy and kind of mood read. So, aside from my scheduled reads, that's kind of what I plan to do, as far as you can call that a plan. So, although, as I say, I never had the honour of knowing Alice, I will be thinking of her in June and trying to find some books that bring me joy. The bit at the end. So, those are all my reading plans for June. I'd love to hear in the comments what you're planning on reading in June, or if you have any particular books that bring you joy, I'd love to hear what they are. Anyway, that's about it from me today. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you when I see you.